Hey parents, Josh here. I'm going to make a really quick, hopefully homemade video just kind of detailing what junior high ministry looks like, the things that we do with students that students are a part of, and then also a couple of updates as to what's happening next Sunday with the shift. So this is for parents of 6th graders coming in, but also 7th and 8th graders, just knowing what it looks like next week. So we covered this in class this past week, but I just wanted to get it in front of you guys as well because I know everything does not get home. So first off, I just want to show you who the junior high team is, who the counselors are. First off is me and my wife. Obviously, we've got these two beautiful kiddos as well that we have the privilege of loving and trusting the Lord with. But me and my wife, the Fifes and their kids, and then Isai, we all are with the students every week. So we're like the full-timers. And then there's some rotational people that join us different weeks during the month as well. So in that we have Caitlin, she joins us first week. Second week we have Alyssa, she's just born for junior high ministry. And then recently we've added Jake and Julia Bruce as well. So man, we have a really strong team. It's a privilege to get to invest in your guys' kids with them. And yeah, it's just a crack squad. I'm really grateful to the Lord to be able to minister with these people. So over the next couple months, actually, we're going to be sharing testimony of who we are and why God brought us in here, what He did in our lives with your students. So they'll get to know us better, but we want to know you guys as well. So in terms of new adjustments, things that are coming up this upcoming Sunday, the first off is a time adjustment. So junior hires have historically gone to second main service. We will now go to main service at 9 o'clock. That will make our Sunday fellowship time at 10:45. So with that, there's a lot more people in first service. It's a lot more hectic. We could lose kids. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a designated area for students to sit. So if you want them in our watch and under our care for first service, there's going to be a designated area in the front left of the sanctuary in front of the choir for us to sit together. If you're going to keep your kids yourself, they can sit with you. Obviously, they can sit with their parents and guardians and anywhere in the sanctuary, or go to your fellowship time if that's what you want to do. But one of those two things as your option: sitting with us in the designated area and then sitting with you. We're also going to make a couple of security adjustments. So we meet out in the annex, and that's one of the points where you could get here a little more easily if you wanted to come and be a bit crazy. So we're going to start locking the door during class time. That hasn't happened historically consistently, but we're going to start doing that consistently. That'll just provide us an extra layer of protection for kids with 4th and 5th graders out here on this side of the annex, and then junior high and high school on the other side. That'll be good for us. This one is a little bit of a new thing. So with all the people that we'll be with in first service, this is a little bit of a diversion from how we've done it in the past. We're going to have a quick check-in process. So up there in the front 4 rows in the sanctuary, somebody each week will be holding a red clipboard. And what we're asking parents to do is to bring their kids there for a check-in process. So if you want us to watch your kids, and we want to take diligent oversight of them, we want to make sure that they're safe, we want to do that heartily, we need to know who's under our care, and we need to know what times during Sunday we're watching them. So we're just running the risk of kids getting lost or intentionally lost in between services, and we don't know if they went from main service where we were watching them to somewhere else, right? We don't know that they've connected with you. So what we're asking parents to do is to check in on one of 2 times. So the first check-in time, if you want us to watch them, if they're going to sit with us for main service in the sanctuary, just come to the front left 4 rows in the sanctuary, write down a couple things. We'll make this really quick, really seamless. And it also provide like a checkpoint, a check-in spot where we can connect with you guys briefly about what's going on in your student's life, what's going on in their heart, how you're praying for them, what we're seeing in class. Those little micro communications I think will be good. So if they don't check in there because they're sitting with you, we're asking that you'll check them in Annex West. So Annex West will be our new meeting space. In either case, we're asking parents to bring their kids to that spot, to the red clipboard that will be really evident and apparent, and to check their kids in so that we know who we're looking after, who we're shepherding over during that time. In between services, we're going to have a sweeper system, is what we're calling it. So, we don't want to take away all the liberty of the kids. We know that you guys are training them and being independent and having responsibility and being where they're supposed to be, and we don't want to micromanage everything we're doing. That's the last thing that I want to do with a bunch of middle schoolers. Sounds really stressful. So we want them to be able to go down into the cafe and make those connections with the people that they have relationships with in the church. We want them to be able to use the restroom before or after or in between services, so they don't have to do that in the middle of class. So with that, at 10:40 each Sunday, we're going to do a sweep. So we're gonna have a lady check the ladies' restrooms. We're gonna have a male check the men's restrooms. We're gonna have somebody posted up down there during the transition time. And at 10:40, they're gonna sweep everybody up into Annex West. So with that, we're gonna make sure that all the kids are up here where they need to be. And at 10:45, if there's somebody that's been designated on the check-in sign-in sheet that is supposed to be with us in junior high fellowship time, and they're not there, at 10:45 we'll send you a text. So we want to make sure that we have a quick turnaround. If we don't know where a student is and they're supposed to be with us, we need you guys to know that quickly as well, and I think you want that too. So yeah, that's a lot, and I know that could be a little bit of a pivot. Some kids have had a little more autonomy than that, like not having to have their parent check them in. I think it'll be a good thing, and we're already doing it for Kid Town, so I know it's another thing on a Sunday morning. I don't want to create that, honestly, but I think just with the state of security and weirdos in the world, it's a good thing. So for checkout, we're saying that there's two options for students. So first is a student self-checkout, and then second is a parent checkout. So we want to follow your guys' lead. Again, if you guys are training your kids in terms of growing in independence, and they know where to meet you and they're trustworthy to do so, we want to follow your lead, and we're fine with them checking themselves out if that's what you've designated. If you want us to watch them, then there's a checkout process. So come to the Annex West, come grab your kiddos sometime between 12:15, 12:20. We'll hang out till then. Grab your kids, and then you can know that they're secure the whole time. If that's how you want things to look on a Sunday, we're glad to facilitate that. We do ask, just a quick note on that, I know a lot of you guys are going to be having fellowship time down at the Meijer. If we can avoid it, it's a bit chaotic on a Sunday morning down the street, right? If you know your kid can get down there, then please do that. But we'd recommend not having the meetup spot if your student is self-checkout down at the Meijer, just because that opens up whole cans of worms of who has access to them and who can't have oversight of them. The security team does a good job, but we just can't see everything. So a sensible checkout spot or a meetup spot would be a good idea. Okay, so that's a little bit of transitionary stuff. I know I spoke to that for a few minutes. Let me share a little bit about what we do. A lot of this will be familiar to some of you who have been in the ministry, but I want to make sure that the new parents coming in know what we're doing, and for everybody why we're doing it. So Sundays, what do they look like? Lost my paper. There you go. This is what a general Sunday looks like. There's obviously some flexibility built in there, and we do different things. The two major things that we've been doing of late are working through 1 John, and that is a preaching series where we try to preach somewhere around 30 minutes. We're helping these kids learn how to learn via that modality. It's important that we do that. But a lot of the time we're also doing Discovery Bible Method in the book of Acts. So we've been working through that. In those Discovery Bible groups, we're meeting with the same group of kids each week, and it's kind of a 3-step process of ABC. Ask where the kids are at, spend some time in the B, Bible, and then C, commit. How are we hearing from the Lord, and what is that translating to in terms of action? So not only is it a time of learning God's word, but also connecting with the students in meaningful ways, praying together, a small group setup. So these are the things that we're generally doing on a Sunday morning with some fluctuation. On Tuesdays, there's something for students every Tuesday. So you guys know what Tuesday night prayer looks like, but on the other side of things, on first and third Tuesdays, we're also having Tuesday night hangout. So that looks like worship, a short devotional, just calling kids to faith, calling them to action with what the Lord has said and who he is in our lives, and then a time to connect. So we're hoping that these are fishing holes for them, that they're fun, that they're unifying, that they're connective. Tuesday night hangouts are are a vital part of what we do, and we want your kids to be there so that we can have those connection points with them and build relationships beyond Sundays, because Sundays are full. Sundays are teaching heavy or group heavy, and we want to just have relational time with our students. Fridays, we have whole group Bible study on second Fridays. So this is typically at Jerry and I's house, KC address, kind of Raytown over by the stadiums, trying to make it as centrally located as we can. We'll move between there, the church, the Fife's house, typically. But yeah, we're getting into the Word together. Our primary focus for our Bible study time is to learn how to rightly divide the Word ourselves in simple ways, how to grow in our devotional life, right? So obviously there's points for connection there's points for fun, we're growing in unity, all those things, but we want kids to leave junior high ministry with a greater understanding of how to know what God is saying to them. So we're trying to teach Bible study skills through our Bible study time on second Fridays. On fourth Fridays, I don't know what happened to my slides. There's supposed to be a fourth Friday slide. On fourth Fridays, we do what's called Fourth Friday Hangout / Outreach. So it is what it sounds like. We do more fun things. We do more fishing type things, more invite friends to those types of things. That's the vision for it. We've gone ice skating. We've gone and had like a Mario Kart tournament. We've done all sorts of things, and we'll continue to do all sorts of things that junior hires enjoy doing. If you guys have contributions or ideas as to what we could do, or if you have a home that you want to let us come wreck for a Friday night, let us know, and we'll absolutely do that. But fourth Fridays, we want to get together for these reasons. And then obviously, every ministry that we have in the church, it's built around one of those principles that every member is a minister. So there's no exception in junior high. We want our kids to be servants and growing into servant leaders, owning the mission and the ministry that God has called them to. So there are a number of ways that they can connect. I'm excited about the shift between the little bit of a split between junior high and high school, as it creates a vacuum. It creates some space for some junior hires to step into those roles, to step up into ownership and responsibility, and to get their focus off of themselves a little bit, which is something we're all prone to do. In terms of communications, there's going to be another WhatsApp group. I'll just add you guys all to it. I think I have all of your guys' numbers, but I'll make sure you get in there, because that's where we send, you're not going to remember all the things that I've talked about, right? Like first and third, second and fourth, all these different things. It is confusing as a mug. I'll get you in the group, and we'll send regular updates as to what's going on next as soon as we can. Sometimes we're a little bit tardy, but we'll always get you something, okay? And then this is one last new thing that I've just felt like I wanted to make space in my life for parents as much as you guys want it. So you guys have that responsibility to train up your kids in the nurture and admonition of the Lord, and we have what God's called us to do as ministers of the gospel and shepherds in this capacity. I just want to connect with you guys as much as you want to be connected with, in terms of partnering with you to raise your kids. And I don't have all the answers, but I might have a little bit of insight from what I'm seeing from the class perspective or from the church perspective that you don't get to see in terms of how your student is reacting. And you obviously have a ton of insight that you could share with me or members of the team as to what's going on at home. So I'm just putting this up there and making myself available on, what did I put here? Second Tuesdays at 6 at MBT. See, I don't even remember. I got it in my calendar though. Every second Tuesday of every month of the year, I'm planning to be at the church at 6 o'clock, so that if you want to come up here early and you want to talk about a counseling issue, something that's going on in your student's head or heart or interpersonally, I just want to make space to connect with you regarding those things, because I want to see them walk in victory. There's no greater joy than that. So on second Tuesdays, I'll be available up here in the annex, presumably. A lot of information. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I didn't keep it as short as I wanted, but I love you guys. I'm thankful for your kids, and I'm excited to meet them and get to know them better, even if they've been around for a year or a year and a half, year or two. I'm excited to get to trust the Lord with you all, to see them grow and to see them love the Lord with everything that they have. So if you have any questions beyond what was shared here, or because of what was shared here, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be glad to connect surrounding whatever.